another amazing Gale Force unit. IS just doesn't want defenses to do well. That is all there is to it. That has got to be it. We have the summer heroes here. These are a lot of fun. Let's just jump right in and get to Nerþuz. We have the Beach Chaperone. All right, so this is a green beast cav, because of course it is. You can see she's got some interesting skills. She's gonna come up and smack Medius. Love of Nerþuz. So we have, this is a lot. We have Slaying. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than 25%, grants bonus to all of them equals number of allies within 3 rows or 3 columns centered on unit, times 3 plus 5, max of 14. That is not particularly hard to get. Neutralizes effects that guaranteed foes follow-up attacks and effects that prevents units follow-up attacks, and reduces damage from foes' first attack by 40% during combat. And that includes Braves. Here we go. This is where things get interesting, and this turns into a support unit all of a sudden. Grants the following effects to allies within 3 rows or 3 columns centered on unit, and if unit's HP is greater than 25% at the start of combat, to unit. When that unit or ally special triggers during combat, reduces the percentage of foes non-special, it goes on, it's piercing. So, and it's got a formula here. That equals that unit or ally's max special cooldown count value times 30 plus 10, max of 100%. A lot of the times that means you're going to get a 100% piercing within 3 rows and 3 columns. At one point, this would be amazing, and this would be the most busted thing on the planet. Now this is good. We've had this a couple times now, though. And also, if that unit or ally's max special cooldown count value is greater than or equal to 3, so you got the whole Lagoose Friend thing, and their attack can trigger their special, grants special cooldown count -1 to that unit or ally before their first attack during combat. So it's that whole special jump thing, which is a lot of fun, but Scowl exists, and it's a lot of places right now. And then we've got the Beast Transformation Clause, and this is, if unit transforms, grants attack +2 to unit, inflicts attack defense -X on foe during combat, and X equals the number of spaces from start to end position, +3, max of 6. And also, if X is greater than or equal to 5, reduces damage from foe's first attack by 30% during combat. So, okay, we're going to have some analysis. I want to let this roll, though. We've got Dragon Fang, which is a weird thing. We've got Attack Speed XL, which is one of my favorite skills right now. The true damage out of that, along with the extra attack and speed, max of 10, is really, really nice for Cavs, but for a lot of other units too. But we have Under the Sun, and here's where things get interesting. Enables Canto 2. Canto 2 is very nice. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, inflicts speed defense -5 on foe, neutralizes effects that inflict special cooldown charge -X on unit. Unit deals 20% of unit speed in damage, and reduces damage from foe's first attack by 25% of unit speed during combat. That includes Braves. So we've got true damage and true defense. Excellent, right? Flat damage reduction is always great. And unit's next attack deals damage equals total damage reduced from foe's first attack, and restores 7 HP to unit after combat. I don't understand. Everything in here screamed Gale Force unit. There's a lot about this that just says this is going to be an amazing Gale Force unit that is going to just absolutely wipe the floor with a lot of teams. And then we get restores 7 HP, and I don't understand the obsession with restores 7 HP. The one thing that I will say about this, and that's this entire kit, if you wanted to do the Miracle Nerþuz build from way back when, I guess a year ago, it wasn't that far back, but if you wanted to do that, this unit would be excellent at that. So if you're looking at Summoner Duels, that's probably where this unit would be a better fit for. That also, I mean, the 3 rows and 3 columns for that kind of support, that's where that would be better as well. In Aether Raids, possibly on Aether Raid's defense, but I'm not just I'm not just jumping out of my chair for this unit. This is an interesting hybrid, and for Summoner Duels, if you're talking about a lot of the Cav line Pathfinder strategies, I think this is going to be a good unit for that. We also have Beast Threaten, which is a new Threaten skill, because everything that is old is new now. At start of turn, inflicts defense -7 and panic on foes within 3 rows and 3 columns centered on unit through their next action. And then at start of turn, if any foes within 3 rows and 3 columns centered on unit, grants attack speed +6 to unit for 1 turn. And also, if special cooldown count has maximum value, grants special cooldown count -1 to unit. This is very good because calves, and I know this is only on beast calves, but calves don't get times pulse, and now they do. Also, again, if you're talking about that miracle build, that helps this a ton. That kind of feels like what this is headed towards. Now, let's just look at the tier list real quick. I'm going to jump straight to that. Again, I think in Summoner Duels, I think this is a really interesting unit. The problem is in a Gale Force team, it's a secondary unit because 7 HP, that's 7 HP healing is really tough. Like, you've got to become a beacon of some sort. And this unit isn't able to do that without something like Emerin. And Emerin takes up an extra slot. And I mean, slots are a premium on Gale Force teams. They just are. So I don't really see this as an AR unit. And because of that, because it limits the number of modes, I've got Nerthuz ranked kind of low here. You can see I've got right at Lumera. Normally newer units get ranked higher. The thing is, this is a very, very competitive pool. So just understand that. And I mean, hey, this is still a very good unit. I like this unit a lot. I don't know that, I think she is for a very specific thing. And if that is you, if that's something that you want, then she's going to be great for you. And if that's not, then this is going to be a skip. And we have Hrid with the little sailboat spear that he has. Now, this is a Lance Cav, and this is an interesting unit. Like, I think this is this is a debuffer. This is another one of those hybrid, like, is this unit a support? Is this unit an attack unit? I've kind of put this one more in the attack role. So that's where I see this unit coming into play. You have enables Canto 2, you have Slang, both good. If unit initiates combat, or if unit is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants bonus to units. Attack, speed, defense, res during combat equals 25% of foe's attack at start of combat, -4, minimum 5, max 14. Whew. So that's a lot of stats. Inflicts penalty on foes' attack, speed, defense, res during combat equals current bonus on each of foes' stats ×2. So you've seen it before. It basically turns bonuses into penalties. I mean, that's a really, really complicated way to say that. And then reduces damage from foes' attacks by 40%. And also, if unit deals damage to foe using a special during combat, restores a percentage of units' max HP equals 10 plus units max special cooldown count value ×20, max of 100%, triggers even if 0 damage is dealt. So that's a lot of healing. So this is a survival unit right here. You can see Bonfire, which means this unit's gonna have a lot of defense. And then we have a couple of really weird skills. Ice Prince's Seal. At start of turn, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, inflicts speed defense -7, frozen, and guard on closest foes and foes within 2 spaces of those foes through their next action. That is a great way to get debuffs. You notice there is no range limit on this. That is kind of incredible. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, inflicts attack, speed, defense -5 on foe. Unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack, deals damage equals 20% of unit's defense, and reduces damage from foe's attack by 20% of unit's defense during combat. So we've got percentage DR that we just saw on the weapon. On the preference B, you get flat DR, and you also get true damage. It's kind of feeling familiar, right? The key here, though, is frozen, and what this is doing is increasing the increasing the amount of extra speed you have to have in order to double, which is really a neat thing if we were still in the speed meta. So, I mean, the biggest Omni tank right now, the unit that you have to destroy is Ike, right? Emblem Ike. Ike has no speed, does not care if he doubles or not. And this unit is not going to really do any sort of denting into that unit. So it's hard to really advocate for this unit. This unit is going to be very fun for survival type things, and that's neat, but I'm not just huge into this. This is a unit that would have been amazing 1 year ago when we were like deep into the speed meta. I want you to think about putting this unit on an Omni tank squad where you were trying to stack as much speed as you possibly could. I mean, you remember the god swords that were coming at just one after the other, and this unit would have been amazing for that, but we're not there right now. Now, Odd Defense Wave 4, that is a completely different thing. At start of turn, grants defense +6 to unit and allies within 2 spaces of unit for 1 turn. If unit's defense is greater than foe's defense, -5, neutralizes effects that grant special cooldown charge +1 to foe or inflict special cooldown charge -X on unit during combat. And if it's an odd number turn, then grants defense +6 to unit during combat, as if you even care about that last part. This is tempo. And I mean, you have to pass a defense check, but it's for anyone. That's a big deal. And it's in the C skill. The C skill generally is more of a support spot for the rest of your team. And we're seeing more and more where it's becoming something that gives the actual unit extra stats. But being able to get that is a lot of fun. So this unit is interesting, very bulky. The problem, and we'll hit the tier list here, I don't really have a place for him. And keep in mind, this is melee right here. Like I am judging by your hitting power, and that's about it. And I have him down in tier 3, which for a new unit is kind of rough. Again, I thought about ranking him as a support hero, but Frozen is not it right now. Like we're not really struggling with speed checks as much as we were. It's not such a priority. So this is an interesting unit, but I feel more about him like I would Alfred. Which is, keep in mind when Alfred came out, very bulky, and he fell off very quickly, and I have the feeling that this unit will as well. Keep in mind, if we go back into a speed meta, then suddenly this unit becomes very good again. Guard is excellent, and raising the threshold to get a double is also, I mean, that can be really good for you if you're on defense or something like that. But in general, I'm not just over the moon for this one. Next, we have Olivia, and I mean, I love Olivia. Olivia was the dancer that I wanted to get for so long when she first came out, like the very first one, and just never could. She would never come home. It took me a long, long time. So this is fun to see her here. See, Tambourine is interesting because it's a colorless tome, and being able to inherit more of those is a good thing. This one in particular is okay. It's not the most amazing thing ever. This is at start of turn, if unit's HP is greater than 25%, grants attack speed +X to unit and allies within 2 spaces of unit for 1 turn. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than 25% and it is an even numbered turn, grants attack speed +5 to unit during combat. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than 25% and is in an odd numbered turn, grants attack speed +11 to unit during combat. I mean, 11 is not bad. Like that's not something to put your nose up at, but it's still just some extra stats. Like you really want some extra effects that she's giving throughout the rest of her kit. The weapon itself, I mean, it's interesting. It's not the most amazing thing, but it's still nice to have options. It's nice to have this. Attack speed Far Trace 3 and attack speed Rain 3 are both nice on a demote like this. It'd be nicer if it was in the main pool, but I mean, if you happen to get this unit, that's a great thing to come by. I'm not going to rank the demotes unless something really special comes up. It seemed like I was putting him in the same place every time, and that gets a little boring. It kind of loses the point of tier lists in general. So this is still a good unit. We've talked about it, but dancers are always good, and a flying dancer is even better right now. Here she is, Summer, Gullveig, and Sather with those really nice pineapple drinks that I, honest to God, love. So here we go with an amazing Galeforce unit. This is Golden Sunlight. You get Slang if unit initiates combat, or if foe's HP is greater than or equal to 75% at start of combat, grants bonus 2 units. Attack speed defense res equals 5 plus number of foes within 3 rows or 3 columns centered on unit times 3, max 14. Treated as 14 starting in unit's second combat and player phase and enemy phase. It's almost like it shouldn't even be there at that point. I mean, anyway, deals damage equals 20% of unit speed, excluding area of effect specials, which hurts. I wanted that to be included on AoEs, and reduces the percentage of foes non-special reduced damage by X% skills by 50%. So you get 50% piercing, which is nice. If unit initiates combat, reduces damage from foe's first attack during combat by 70%. That includes brave attacks, and also grants another action to unit after combat and restricts movement to 1 space on unit and pair up cohort through their next action. All right, so I mean, you're seeing where this is going. Like this is a Galeforce unit through and through, and she's going to be a good one. We have Time of Light, but you can feel this coming. Like this is what Mythic Gullveig was supposed to be. Right here, like this is it. We have Time of Light, which is a tool cooldown special. We have boosts special damage by 30% of unit speed when special triggers. Neutralizes effects that inflict special cooldown charge minus X on unit during combat, which is very important having that half tempo. If unit initiates combat, after combat, if unit special triggered and unit survives, grants another action to unit and restricts movement to 1 space on unit and pair up cohort, bloody. So you've got your 3 action unit here, and this is what all the ranged Galeforce lovers have been asking for, and she's here. Right now I can tell you DTM is losing it, and he is absolutely loving this. We'll see if we can convince him to actually summon on this unit, but that's another thing altogether. Flared Sparrow is what you're going to want on this unit, period. That is the best skill for this unit. Even with Breath of Life being around, you still want something to kind of inhibit the burn damage. Speed Res Far Trace 4. While I do love these skills and you get some extra damage out of them, I would probably prefer Occultist Strike. That's probably what this unit wants more than anything else. And then we have Odd Speed Wave 4. At start of turn, grants speed +6 to unit and allies within 2 spaces of unit for 1 turn. If unit speed is greater than foe speed -5, neutralizes effects that this is no follow-up. Like this is no follow-up in a C skill, which is incredible. I mean, that is really nice. This is no follow-up in a C skill that could be inherited to anyone. Because remember, there's no restrictions on the wave skills. That can be very powerful for a lot of different archetypes that haven't been able to get a hold of that. You think of calves and flyers, and I mean, you could put it on an armor. I don't think you'd want to, but that's the main thing is calves and flyers now have access to this, and these are going to be very good skills to feed to your fodder factories because they're so easy to get around to other units. Excellent stuff. We're gonna go ahead and continue into the duo skill because we're not done yet. So You can get an equivalent of plus 37 speed, apparently, which is amazing. And you see all of the extra stats that Gullveig has. I will say, you'll notice Gullveig does not finish off Seiros. And we'll talk about that in just a second, but damage output for ranged Gale Force units is always a thing you worry about. This is going to go on for a while as they show all of the actions that this unit can get. I will just skip right to it and tell you guys the duo skill is granting another action because of course she needs another action. That is something right there. That is going to be a lot of fun to use with this unit. Now, I'm going to tell you what you probably want to do with this unit is give them an AoE. Again, I am fully aware that Breath of Life exists. It is much less common on defenses than it is on offenses. Most people are using it for Omni tanks. That could change. That could definitely change. But for right now, AoEs are still one of the most reliable ways to get kills on an Aether Raid's defense with a Gale Force Initiator. They're still absolutely incredible, and yeah, this unit is going to be very powerful in that respect. If you don't have that, and if Breath of Life becomes common and suddenly, I mean, Myrrh becomes even more common than she already is, I understand that you'll probably be able to take those units out with 2 hits. I do think this unit should survive, so that is a thing that you can do, but probably what you're going to want to be doing is having the AoE hit, and I think this unit is going to be very powerful in that regard. I mean, you're going to have an AoE, you're going to have an additional attack through the weapon, and then you're going to have a duo skill that gives you another attack. Because we just need more actions. That is what is going on right now, apparently. That is the thing. So this is an excellent unit. If I'm looking at the tier list, I'm begging you. I know this is bold, and I know there is a concern with what the damage output for this unit is, but right now, just looking at it, everyone and their dog is trying to counter Winter Edelgard. I have seen ranged Gale Force just run unchecked, and I think that's going to continue. I think this is going to be the best Gale Force unit in the game right now. You're probably going to run... I know I just said Flared Sparrow is probably going to be the A skill. For damage output, yes. What you're probably going to be running on this unit, though, is Fury 7. Fury 7 and an AoE is probably going to be the way to go. Pair her up with Embla. They're going to be best friends. You don't have to worry about whatever weird Far Savior is sitting there. You get the additional cooldown from that unit. It's going to be a match made in heaven and is going to wreak havoc on everyone's defense. Infantry Pulse, I am sorry for saying that out loud. In fact, ignore me. Everyone who just heard that, don't go up against my defense with this Gullveig and Embla, please. I can't handle any more heartache from that unit. Let me know in the comments who you're summoning for, who you're hoping for. If you're looking for a refreshers tier list, I just did one. It was a lot of fun. Go check that out. I'll leave the link here. Members, you are amazing. Thank you for all you do. Take care and schedule an appointment with your FEHologist real soon.